Hello! This is another extra episode in this week for the Esoteric podcast? What the fuck?
Yeah, we're gonna get all sorts of extra episodes.
Yeah.
Actually, this isn't really an extra episode. This is hopefully a new, maybe reoccurring thing.
Yes.
So, I am T.J.Bunker. With me is Wesley.
Yes.
This week we're doing,
Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess OST.
yes, Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess OST review.
Yes.
I don't know if we're gonna always do, video game music reviews, or we're just going to review whatever strikes our fancy. But, yeah, short little, 5-10 minute review of, this week at least, an OST.
Mm-hmm.
Next week, I don't know, something else maybe.
Yeah, it's not going to be our hour-long tangent on Apocalypse. First of all, let's talk about our experience with the game. Travis?
Alright, Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. I played it originally on the Wii back in, 2006? 2007?
I think
it's 2008. I don't know. I remember I had a GameCube, and I was looking forward to the new Zelda game on the GameCube forever. I thoroughly enjoyed Wind Waker. Wind Waker was good. But I was waiting for the next one. I was a lot younger at the time, and at the time, I enjoyed the graphics for Wind Waker. But when they were showing off the graphics for what would become Twilight Princess, is much more adult-looking, much more realistic was a term being thrown around at the time, even though it's not realistic-looking at all.
I know you could get less realistic-looking, actually.
Technically Wind Waker is way less realistic looking, but it's way more artistic looking, which is why I actually love those graphics now. And part of also why I love Breath of the Wild's graphics.
Oh, I can't wait for
been showing off. Those are beautiful. They are not in any way realistic, but they are beautiful. Which is, in my opinion, the better way to go with a Zelda game. Because let's face it, a lot of the mechanics and a lot of what's going on is not realistic. We don't need a realistic freaking graphics to go with it. We need something beautiful. Not the Twilight Princess wasn't beautiful, but it was just not as good. But yeah, and then I recently over the summer here played it again in the HD version on the Wii U.
Yeah, which when I was staying in New Ulm at your place, I just walked in randomly on you beating the game, and I'm like, oh hey. That was a game.
Yeah, burned through that in like 2 days. Just nailed it. But yeah, as I was saying, a Zelda game requires, for the graphics, it just requires something to be beautiful.
Yes.
And the same goes with the music.
Yes. Just to give my Twilight Princess, I got to the first temple when I was playing the GameCube version, and I got to the second bug collecting thing, and I was like, I'm going to play this later. That was 2 years ago.
You were playing the GameCube version 2 years ago. Wow.
My mom's fiance lent it to me.
Okay.
Yeah. But I love the soundtrack from it.
Yeah, I will admit a few of those... I don't know if you know this, Wesley, but the HD version, they reduced the number of little Twilight bugs you have to get to turn back into a person.
So I have another reason to buy a Wii U now?
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, so Twilight Princess, I believe, was the first one to use the orchestral soundtrack.
I've been watching Let's Play of Wind Waker lately. And granted, this could just be because it's the HD remake, but I actually think they started with Wind Waker. Because...
Okay.
Yeah, but they still pull off an amazing job on this one. With soundtrack.
No, it is. They managed to make a number of pieces that are both beautiful and orchestral, and still gives you that old school feel like you'd have back in the
N64 days.
I was actually gonna say like the NES and SNES days.
Oh, wow.
I mean, back because I don't know if Wesley, you ever played any of the SNES, NES Zeldas?
Yeah, I've played. I played the original until I couldn't figure out what I was doing, and then I played.
You played the original for like 30 seconds.
Yes, and then I played A Link to the Past, and
Okay.
got through the first world.
So apparently the first dungeon is like your go-to move.
Well, no. I got to the Dark World.
Oh, okay.
That'd probably make more sense.
Yeah, because that's like 3 or 4 dungeons in. So.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, of course, back then, on the NES they had 8-bit sound to work with, and the SNES they only had 16-bit sound to work with. So orchestral music was clearly not a thing they were doing back then.
Yeah.
Which means all the music had to be catchy, enjoyable, and fit into the 8-bit and 16-bit parameters they had. Yeah. Because you were going to be listening to this over and over and over again.
And if you're stuck on a boss, that just ends up making you want to bang your head against a wall.
Right. And back then, the composer, I wish I knew who the composer was. I should have looked it up before we started recording this. Obviously a Japanese composer. But he did a beautiful job. I mean, I don't know many sounds that are as memorable as that getting an item sound.
Oh, gosh. The only thing for me as a Metroid fan would have to be the first time you get an item. The do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Yeah, that one's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me, the Zelda one, just that open chest sound and that, dee-dee-dee! Anytime you get something is epic, it's awesome, it's memorable. I would probably do my chores at my house more often. I'd do my dishes more often if every time I finished, somebody played that freaking sound.
I could just imagine you dirtying dishes just to do that.
So no, Twilight Princess, in my genius moment, I was preparing for this review, and I listened to the entire soundtrack, but I didn't take any notes. So, like, when I heard something beautiful, I was doing something not related to Zelda, because I just had it playing in the background. It was just a thing I was listening to while I was doing other things. And there's things I'm like, yes, that is beautiful, and I would love to tell you all about it, but I didn't write it down, and I didn't go look up, okay, what is this? Where was this from in the game?
Yeah.
Because I wasn't taking notes when I was playing the game, and I finished the game several months ago, so although I know there was a lot of beautiful stuff in it, I cannot remember, like, okay, this was from this level, and that was awesome.
Yeah. I kept kind of a good track on it when I was listening to it while doing homework, because whenever I heard something I really liked, I would just switch over to the tab. One of the Midna's theme is really awesome. The first temple's theme, another amazing track, and just even the start screen theme, I was loving to death. I love this soundtrack.
Yes, the one on the start screen is awesome. There have been times back when I was playing it on the Wii, I'd like boot it up, and I'd like, because load time going from hitting the play button in the disc menu to the game actually booting, takes some time. So I'd like boot it up, and then I'd like go out to my kitchen, I'd like get some food or something, and while I'm out there, that is playing, and I live alone, so it was loud enough that everybody could freaking hear it.
Maybe even the neighbors.
Yeah, the neighbors could probably hear it. But yeah, I love that opening theme.
Yeah.
And I never felt like any of the music was out of place. The music does what good music in a video game should do. When I have before, due to playing Zelda games with people around, had to turn it down, or sometimes even straight up mute it. I remember what Zelda game was I playing. I want to say it was probably Ocarina of Time, back when I still lived with my parents. I was a teenager living with my parents, staying up till all hours in the morning playing Ocarina of Time. Don't want to wake my parents up. I mute the music, and you notice when it's gone. Without the music, you notice it's gone. The game noticeably is missing something.
Yes.
But the music also does not, outside of the moments where they do it on purpose, like the opening of a chest, it also does not stand out. It is never overpowering the game when you're playing the game.
Yes.
It is always adding to the game. Nothing seemed out of place. Everything was helping. I love the what is that tune? It was basically a remixed version of the one they did in Ocarina, I believe, but where you're in the Lost Woods hunting. You probably didn't get that far, so you don't even know what I'm talking about. So you're in the Lost Woods in the game, and you're hunting down this masked guy. And it's that do. That's as far as I can do it. But it's that like lively pipe music.
Yeah.
I love it. It adds to that. And somehow, without feeling out of place, every time I don't remember, it's when you do something right or do something wrong, but it's like all of a sudden they have that there's this discordant sound. And it just fits right in.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's I don't know how it plays. I don't remember how it played in just the soundtrack, but I know that any time you like found the masked guy or screwed up finding the masked guy or something, a bunch of like puppet dudes showed up and started attacking you. And there was just like this discordant. It was almost like somebody hit all the keys on an organ at once.
Yeah.
But it perfectly encapsulated the fact that you just screwed up, and everything about it is just so. I mean, when you're out in Orden Ranch, that kind of lullaby-ish music that they play is just so calming and peaceful. When you're out on a ranch that is supposed to be calming and peaceful.
Yeah, it's an amazing and effective soundtrack. I've personally grown to love a lot of Legend of Zelda soundtracks, especially some of the 16-bit ones, just because, oh my gosh, Zelda does a very good job at using music to its benefit.
You are aware there's only the one 16-bit Zelda, right?
Yeah, okay. I'm aware. I should have really thought of that before I said something, but you know me.
I am looking at this here on the web, and according to what I'm staring at, Koji Kondo is the
yeah, that sounds about right.
The composer, and he did an excellent job. No idea if he was doing any of the other Zelda music. I'm guessing he's probably been doing the Zelda music and possibly a whole bunch of other music for Nintendo games for years. Yeah. But at least at the moment we are discussing Twilight Princess. He did an excellent job on Twilight Princess music.
Yes, it was amazing.
Yeah, here I'm going to bring up his Wikipedia page right here. Let's see. Do we have a list of things he's done? Yeah. That's what I thought. He's done the music and sound effects for just all sorts of freaking Nintendo games.
It's, again, an amazing soundtrack. I'd suggest anyone who... First of all, I suggest you play Twilight Princess. Second of all, I'd suggest you listen to the soundtrack.
Yeah. God, I don't even remember which soundtracks are officially available for purchase.
Oh my gosh. I if I remember correctly...
At the very least, I know you can get that 25th anniversary concert CD.
Yeah. And it's kind of funny when I compare developers and their what they'll allow to what they'll do with their soundtracks, because I'm a huge fan of Square Enix, and they have practically all their OSTs for sale on their website.
Okay.
Well, Nintendo's kind of just like, maybe we'll give you this one. I know they put the X and Y OSTs out on iTunes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm staring at Amazon right now. They've got the 25th anniversary edition orchestral soundtrack. Apparently, there are some select music from Ocarina of Time available on Amazon Unlimited. There's a CD called History or Nintendo Sound History Series, Zelda the Music. The Twilight Princess soundtrack is available for purchase.
How much?
$72.
You know, not as bad as Fire Emblem. Awakening was like 150.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's hear $72. How many tracks? Somebody tell me how many tracks.
I think it's like 198 or something.
Yeah. Doesn't tell me here on Amazon. Yay, Amazon for being helpful. Here. Amazon Kunde, I don't know who that is, but he says, wow, amazing. Listen to the music. I get the feeling to dive again deep in Hyrule, from the wide landscapes to the cities and the emotional meetings with all the characters during gaming. Gave it a 5-star. Only review on Amazon for it, but yeah. Apparently Ocarina of Time, when they released it on 3DS, got an official soundtrack.
Oh.
Wind Waker has a soundtrack. Apparently there's the original soundtrack from the N64 version. They did do an N64 version of Legend of Zelda. Club Nintendo apparently had an offer for Majora's Mask at some point in time. Somebody's reselling that on Amazon.
Yeah, Club Nintendo had offers for a lot of them.
So, yeah, lots of options available. There's a possibility of Nintendo having some of them on iTunes too. I don't know. Highly recommend it though.
Yes.
Excellent soundtrack.
Excellent.
So all right, I think that covers it for this segment.
Mm-hmm.
Next week we will review, I don't know, something. Maybe another Zelda soundtrack. I'm really looking forward to reviewing Breath of the Wild soundtrack when it comes out.
I would love to do that. Idea.
Ooh, here's the thing we can do, Wesley. Apparently, I also have Koji Kondo's Wikipedia page up, so I can look at all the stuff he's done. He was nominated for, or maybe his game was, I don't know how BAFTA awards work, but BAFTA nominated Super Mario Galaxy 2 and Super Mario 3D World for Best Original Music in 2011 and 2014, respectively.
Want to take a trip into Mario?
So yeah, I think next week we'll do some Mario. What do you want to do? Galaxy 2 or Super Mario 3D World?
Let's go Galaxy 2 first, because...
Alright, so next week, OST review Super Mario Galaxy 2. It's been a while since I played Galaxy or Galaxy 2, but I recall those were also pretty awesome.
Well,
actually, I've got to admit, I'm staring at this list of Koji Kondo's works, and I am hard-pressed to find a game where the music in it wasn't awesome and didn't just fit. I mean, obviously, Zelda has the most orchestral and the most involved music. I mean, some of this stuff, not a lot of music to go. You know, just some sound effects and what have you, and some background music. But yeah, a lot of this stuff is just epic, awesome. I love it.
Yes. So this has been the OST review by the Esoteric Podcast. We will see you guys next time. Oh, don't forget to check out our amazing Twitch live streams, our pretty awesomely edited down Saturday uploads. And we're also on Twitter at the Esoteric Pod, Patreon if you want to support us that way, the Esoteric Podcast, YouTube channel clearly, as that's what we're posting this. And yeah, so thank you for watching. We will see you next time. Goodbye.